You're listening to the Board Game Snobs podcast, a ridiculous podcast with ridiculous hosts that discuss ridiculous things. And any mention of board games is purely coincidental. And so, without further ado, and with a heavy dollop of shame and embarrassment on my part, I give you the Board Game Snobs.
And go.
Welcome. I am back. Hence the star of the show from my hiatus.
Hello, Adis.
Yes, I am back.
Hiatus?
Hiatus. It is Norwegian for being gone temporarily, isn't it? I don't know what it means. Either way, this is Jerry, the star of the show. With me.
It means gone.
Like a sabbatical.
Like, yeah.
Okay.
He was gone for a period. Taking a break. It's like taking a break.
I was indisposed. You, sir, are Enrique.
I'm glad
I was going to ask, who am I?
Who am I? That's what everyone should ask.
Who are you?
Jean Valjean.
I'm Gabi.
Excellent.
Gabi Moraga, host of the Board Game Snobs, the most regular of hosts, the only one that has been here holding down the fort while Jerry is on his high anus.
I don't want to, speaking of anus, reminds me that for some reason you had to dig to the bottom of the barrel and got one Dan Hughes convinced to come on this show. But then I realized you and Dan have already done one defunct podcast together.
Yeah.
The Well-Rounded Somethings, Gamers. That's defunct, right?
Yeah, it's gone.
It's gone. You've stopped it.
For all effectively, yes.
What about
Why?
Luke Pryor?
Luke, former podcast host.
So y'all just stopped your show about consistent weight loss.
Yeah, I have to take that up with Dan.
I can't.
He's talking about being stressed out as a nurse.
Oh, please.
He's been too busy.
He's got a medal.
Too busy to be healthy, apparently.
I guess. Well, thank you, Dan.
But I've started my weight loss journey. I've continued it. Ugh, I hate when I say journey.
I like that.
Then
Even though I do like the band.
adventure?
Favorite Journey song?
I don't have one. I don't think.
Well, there's Don't Stop Believing.
Of course, but I have stopped believing.
What's the other one they have, though, that they played it on? I don't even know the name of it. But yeah, apparently I'm not into them as much as I thought it was because I only know Don't Stop Believing.
But Dan came on our show, and I would rate it probably a number 3, maybe a 4 on the Bristol stool scale. Is that the chart?
The Bristol stool chart?
Correct. Don't ask
That's
Enrique.
a chart of small stools for your bar, Enrique. Check it out. Look it up on your phone. Bristol stool chart.
I feel like I should.
Don't.
You should.
And Mr. Brendan Haynes, he was on. I didn't get to listen. I didn't get to listen to that episode. I haven't listened yet. I appreciate everybody putting in the work and guest starring on our podcast while I am busy doing much more important things. What else is there? Oh, our Patreon apparently started prematurely.
Oh, you finally got that going?
We did a premature Patreon, for which Bubba sent me the link. I was supposed to do some editing. I am frightened because I haven't even looked at it to see if I edited out the various
I tell you, it's quite hilarious to look at. I like how whoever did it. So I'm guessing Bubba did it, right? I don't even know how to get onto Patreon. I don't even have a Patreon account.
Why are you looking? What's the matter? Oh,
Sorry.
So what are you doing?
Yeah, it's so cold in here.
It is not cold.
It's not to the point of where it's like freezing cold. It's like to the point of cold of where I'm.
Do you have a blanket or a shawl?
No, don't give me a blanket because
Afghan?
then I'll fall asleep.
Is it called is that an Afghan? Is that one?
Yeah, I don't know why it's called that.
Or something you can wrap in?
I'm trying to look up, but anyway, it was weird. The phrasing was like Board Game Snobs podcast. a board game podcast, a podcast about board game. I don't know. Something was weird about it, and it seemed unedited.
Well, it probably was partially unedited.
I can't even get to it. I can't operate my phone.
It doesn't matter. Nobody cares. The only people who care.
I'm trying to log on.
Will you mind? Hey, stay on topic. We'd like to thank the premature and our very first Patreon-ish. Is it what they call him? A Patreon? Patriot.
Patreon.
The person who Patreon.
I think it's just a patron for patronizing us.
Was it Jehesi?
Jehesi Jones.
Jehesi was the first.
Just like Jesse Jones. Yes.
And so.
Followed soon after by Jessica, Korea, then Jared, Don Gilstrap,
Are you just going to read them all?
Patience and Patricia,
Listen,
Brandon, Mike Poole, Troy Brown, Kenny Lucas, Michael Langford, Albert Shaw, Don O'Neill.
I want to know why in the world you throw fits about me making lists and on random people's names, and then as soon as you get done, you're fired up.
Because they gave me money to say that.
They didn't give you money to say that.
They did.
I find this very disturbing. Number one, where we're going to do an episode and like tell people about the Patreon. Because I think it's rather odd that people just give us money. They don't know us, but yet they send us money. And for that, we must assume that they are good people, and we thank them. And we will, of course, send out our Patreon, for which will help pay for the hosting and various other things that we use on this podcast. Thank you very kindly to all those who have. And we also we'll have to do something special for our patrons.
Here it is. Board Game Snobs are creating Board Game Podcast.
We are. We are creating Board Game Podcast.
Singular.
We are.
Just one.
Yes.
Just this one.
This one.
Yeah.
And then...
that seems correct to me. We only have one podcast.
The About page was fine. Quite humorous. I don't know who wrote that.
You're welcome.
Was that you?
That was Bubba, probably.
A shining example of how mediocrity can slowly develop into the finest podcast that mentions board games.
That's probably Bubba.
Bubba's
very wordy. You know, he writes poetry.
Does he?
He does.
I ride poultry. I got a chicken in the backyard I put a saddle on.
So that's not even...
I'm trying not to laugh. Don't even look at me.
Don't laugh.
Don't look at me.
It sounded almost like you said writing poetry.
Well,
riding poultry.
You're not having to laugh.
Saddle up, chicken. You know, I want to say something right now.
Oh, okay. You are?
Is it about more poultry?
No. I say it's this beginning of this podcast is kind of not stunted. It feels awkward. It's been so long.
Well, for me, it has been a long time.
Like I just felt like I really got in the groove of my poultry joke just then. Like we're getting back on the chicken, so to speak, as far as podcasting excellence. You've been gone for so long. I've been just talking myself and to other people.
That's all you do.
And then
just talk.
And it's just it's not jaunty, like stunted, stumped, like just herky jerky, not smooth. There's a word.
Spastic.
We'll go with spastic. That's not the word I'm thinking of, but the next three should be really good.
I anticipated because
You need some more. It's right up there.
Hand me some of that Japanese whiskey behind your head there, Enrique.
All right.
We've got to light this podcast.
Yeah, I mentioned the Patreon with Brandon. I didn't know that it was available to even access. I thought you had to go push a button or something. So after...
Well, you do. I accidentally pushed the button.
Oh, okay. So at this point, I guess we'll post it on our Facebook, Instagram, wherever... Patreon, I guess just search Patreon. You can search Board Game Snobs. We pop up. There we are. Thank you kindly for your donations.
Wherever your favorite Patreons are found. Richard Payne. Now, I don't know Richard Payne, but I know him. He's a Facebook person that I recognize because I like his photo.
He's that guy that always is writing stuff.
He's that guy. He sent us an email. He says, I have a few suggestions for the tiered monthly content for Patreon. Which we don't have any content as of yet. It's just we're taking your money. And
the content is, you're listening to it right now.
I'm buying.
This is it.
Tons of Bitcoin with it. And as soon as it takes back off,
you can probably get it pretty cheap.
When it takes off, I am going to blow up and act like I don't know nobody.
I think now is Ethereum. That's when we need to get on Ethereum.
No, it was Dogecoin.
Oh, Dogecoin.
I'm telling you right now, I'm all in on XRP. We're
there
about
you go.
it. Yep.
I don't know what you're talking about.
He says none of them. Well, it's a chain block bit.
Chain block bit.
Yeah, and it's an NFT.
Chain block bit.
And you cannot funge it.
You're being very cryptid right now.
It's non-fungible.
No.
None of them are board game related or board game adjacent, so they should fit into the show, says Mr. Payne, Major Payne. Watch along with Gobby was one of his suggestions. Oh? Gobby, with possible guest.
What's this?
Watches a movie and records commentary. Not necessarily MST3K.
So I gotta find a guy named Terry, and he's like just an ordinary guy. There's commentary. There he is. His last name's Smith or Jones, no doubt.
Just Gobby's stream of consciousness with bad puns included, of course.
like that one there, commentary.
So basically, you just watch a show and
there's
ramble.
Terry Smith. I'm going to record him. That's commentary.
Here's one thing I have found watching Gobby watch any type of movie is that he knows all the B actors. Because Gobby doesn't watch television. He looks at his phone and looks up the actors and sees what else they were in.
I'm always doing research.
Every random actor that's been in 2 movies or 3 shows, he knows. He's like, I love her. She was in blah, blah, blah. Like, nobody knows her.
IMDb's my best friend.
But IMDb's everything. So it would probably be mindless. But you should do that. Just have people randomly send in pilots of shows. You watch it and record it.
Is that what he's saying?
That's what he says for the monthly Patreon. I think you could do it.
I might can.
I could tune in with you.
There you go.
Premiere finale. Jerry and Gobby watch the pilot episode of a long-running series they're not familiar with, discuss the show and where they think it will go, then watch the series finale and then discuss the differences in characters, whether it might be a series worth watching, etc. That is a great idea. I'm stealing that and acting like it's mine.
That sounds like a podcast already in motion somewhere. And if it's not, it should be.
The Freshman Mixer, Jerry, Gobby, etc., do a taste test of the cheapest pre-mixed cocktails they can find.
Done.
Possibly recreate some of the concoctions from their early drinking days. Hope this is helpful.
My early drinking days consisted of Coors Light.
That's now.
Yeah.
Or
That's
Richard
true.
Payne, occasionally referred to by Gobby on the show as, quote, who was that posted that thing on Facebook? Oh, it doesn't matter. He called you out there.
Tricky Dick Payne.
Very nice. Jerry Huang. Is that how you pronounce that?
I do not know.
Huang. There's another Jerry. He's writing to you. Gabby.
Hello, Jerry.
I appreciate you and this podcast.
I appreciate you.
I grew up in Dallas, Texas. After college, moved to Sacramento, and so enjoy hearing people talking Texan.
All right.
If you ever make it to Dice Tower West, or Kubla Khan.
Never heard of it.
That's the...
He was in Star Trek too.
No, that's the Kubla Khan is the one that isn't like...
Brother of Noonian.
Genghis Khan's third cousin, twice removed, I think. I would love to meet y'all in person. Yes, my real name is also Jerry. There are very few Jerrys left. Very few.
Yeah,
the fewer the better.
They're like a dying race.
Very few.
A race of Jerrys.
All Jerrys in theater and movies are pawn shop owners or men of receding hairlines. Like that's every pawn shop owner in every show is Jerry.
You got Jerry Seinfeld. The only other significant Jerry I know of is off of Rick and Morty.
There's also the Jerry, then Larry, then something else off of Parks and Rec. Gergich.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, Jerry's a solid name.
And all of those are bad examples. I mean, those are, they're kind of like loser types.
World War II really put the kibosh on
What'd it do?
Jerry. It really did, yeah.
What's a Jerry in World War II?
Are you joking?
Tell me. Did I? I didn't know. I was joking.
Okay, so you don't know who the Jerrys were?
Germans?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That was that.
I mean, I can put it together.
Like
G-E-R.
you literally didn't know that.
I feel like I may have heard that before somewhere, but it's not something that just popped into my
Your
brain.
lack of historical facts are just
Now, I can watch Pearl Harbor, the movie, and tell you all about it.
there's not one Jerry in it.
I know.
Because do you think the Germans attacked Pearl Harbor?
Did they not? With their U-571 boats with Bon Jovi.
You're making me mad. I can't
what
tell if
they
you're
did.
joking. You are so ignorant
They
about
did.
something.
Matthew McConaughey and Bon Jovi attacked Pearl Harbor in their U-boat. I saw that movie.
You can already see the steam just kind of coming off his head. It's very faint, but if you just look very closely.
Geriatric.
Enrique, what have you been doing?
Me? I like how you always ask this question.
Because people like you, and you're the executive producer, and you're on the show less than everybody.
What?
Do
but like,
nothing.
Yeah, it's just like work. Like, mainly work.
No, you do other things.
No, I don't.
What do you do?
What do you do when you're not working?
I'm like laying in bed playing games. I like how you both know.
Is that synonymous? Is playing games you laying in bed? So you always lay in bed while playing games?
He does.
Yes. Like, you guys make it sound like I'm an interesting person.
Do you need a hobby?
Basically,
I think you should get a hobby.
We did this already,
and
people wrote in,
and we tried to get you to do something, and you did nothing.
Yes.
We need to find you something, a skill that you can hone that will make you a productive member of society.
All right, fine.
Something of, what do you want to do?
I don't know. Like
falconry.
You could be a falconer. or raise chickens.
Raise chickens?
Ooh, then you can write them. Writing poetry.
Or you could do something. Why don't you...
Anything. Why don't you do something?
I'm just not,
I feel like this is like
you just exist. You just exist, Enrique. We want you to live.
I feel like I'm living. Okay.
I think
What'd you do in Belize? Anything fun?
No, it's just like, it was just a nice little stay over at my uncle's place.
What'd you do, though?
Like, there's not like, well, I guess we kind of just traveled around the city and did a couple of things.
Like what?
Just sightsee.
What did you see?
I don't think he knows what doing things means. That's doing something. Like going to Belize, it's a foreign country.
Yeah, but like
a tropical country, right?
It's not really doing it. It's just seeing.
But that's what most people like to do. I mean, I guess you can go out there and ride horses or swim in the ocean. Did you swim in the ocean?
No. I did like a kayaking thing with my.
You're doing stuff and you don't even know it.
Yeah, but it
you kayaked it.
It wasn't like it was like
in what river?
A river. It was like a big lake.
You kayaked in a lake?
It's called the ocean, Enrique.
Or the ocean or something. It looked like a lake to me. I could see
that.
He can't see but 20 feet out, so everything's a lake.
I could see another island from where
you saw an island.
Or like the other side of the mainland.
Mainland? You were in the ocean. Did you go in the ocean?
He's sitting here kayaking the ocean.
Let me ask you this. When the water got in your mouth, did it taste salty?
Did it taste like your own sweat?
No, but you did a whiff of something. Did it smell?
Like there was like sand and all, but like...
It was in the ocean. You no doubt were in the ocean.
It didn't look like an ocean to me. It looked like a giant lake.
Did you happen to meet a person named Rolf?
Rolf, no.
No.
Okay.
Just as he would like it to be.
So what about? Okay. What? Let me ask you a series.
He doesn't even know though. Like I said, did you do anything? No, I haven't done anything. Well, didn't you go to Belize? Yeah, but didn't do nothing. Come to find out, he kayaks the ocean and sightsees and is traveling to exotic foreign countries, but he doesn't consider that doing anything.
Like for me, kayaking is doing something.
Tell the listeners about your face tattoo. I'm joking.
It's like face tattoo.
Listen, what? So I don't really think he even knows. What country is Belize in?
Somewhere in South America, but like the country itself, I don't.
Okay, know. Belize is the country. Which continent is it on?
That's a trick question. I don't approve of that.
Oh, Cortisone.
No,
cortisone.
No.
Cortisone. It's on the cortisone.
I think that's the
continent. What continent?
Continent?
Yes. What continent is it on?
Would it be like Brazil?
Okay. So here I'm going to no. So here's what we're going to do.
I'm not laughing.
I'm not laughing at you.
Either.
I'm laughing with you.
No, because I'm not.
The public school system has failed you.
Quick question: Which continent is Brazil in?
Incontinent.
Incontinent? Continent?
Is Brazil continent or incontinent?
Like, if we're talking about the continent?
Yes.
It would be South America.
Good.
There we go.
So here we go.
Okay.
We are going to.
So 5 seconds ago, you realized we said which continent, and you said Brazil.
Well,
that's fine.
Okay, so you got there. You got there.
We're there.
I'm sorry.
We're geography.
You don't have to apologize.
We want you to take up geography. That might be fun. Like, where in the world is Carmen
Study
Sandiego?
maps. Just watch that cartoon.
Did you say Carmen Sandiego?
Yes.
It's California.
Okay. You said you're serious.
Aha!
You're very serious.
Hoisted by your own petard, Jerry. She's in California.
Okay. All right. Let's need a little bit more of this.
Carmen Sandiego is a cartoon woman. Easy on the banging.
Sorry.
And she travels the world running from the cops or whoever.
Sandiego.
Yes.
I apologize.
That's fine. So, no, we are going to enroll you in a class of geography and help you to learn about the world.
Atlas making.
Yes, you could be a map maker.
Mapsco has an opening. Cartography.
You could learn a new language. You could learn sign language.
Do you have a desire to do anything else other than play video games?
If there was a skill,
reason, no.
If there was a skill,
he just said no. He just said no.
No. Here's
there's no desire of it, but if you present it to me, I'll do it.
Okay, okay. Here's the thing. You know how I am. I'm into everything.
Yeah, I know.
So when you think of something,
like your business, tell him that, Enrique.
That would have been a quality burn. When you see stuff, or perhaps things that you come across as you're playing your video games, Fortnite, whatever, is there something that you do in your video games that you think, I would like to learn that skill in real life that does not involve decapitation?
Like, if you were talking about something that has some type of realistic...
A skill.
Like...
A talent. Yes.
In the video games I play, there's nothing that's... anything realistic like that.
What there is, there's fencing.
He's like using the force or zombie killing.
There's all types of stuff, things that people do.
If I was going to do anything, it would be probably boxing.
No, your pugilistic skills are way beyond. No, because you die so easily. You get punched in the kidneys one time, and you ain't got about the one.
Well, he didn't say necessarily an opponent. Just
what is he going to box?
Exercising the bag.
No, are you?
Like that?
Now he may not. He may be thinking putting boxes together. Are you talking about cardboard? Or are you talking about actually
boxing?
Are you talking about packing things up?
Oh, okay. There's a thing you could learn to throw a punch.
So what would be the first thing you need to do to venture out on this endeavor?
For boxing, probably start just learning jabbing.
Yes, jabbing or something to do to strengthen your hands because your hands are very small. Like if you punch somebody, you would probably just poke them.
Because my current weight is 186, and if
your current weight,
so it'd probably be 186, and if I remember correctly, the professional ranking system for that weight class is a cruiserweight.
Weight class? Are you going to try to get into MMA? What are you doing? What are we doing weight classes for all of a sudden? No, we're not having you join. You're not.
You're going from 0 to 60.
You're not Holyfield. All right, I think we should probably drop the boxing thing. Is there another skill?
Anything?
Another skill? Shooting, I guess.
I've taken you shooting before, but then again, you have no eyesight.
Zombie killing.
That's I had no eyesight, but yet I was...
So far, he just names things to defend himself.
I know. He's very violent. So let's...
What about painting? I would like to paint.
I don't like painting. I've tried painting. I hate painting.
Okay.
I don't like painting.
Okay. What about a book? Do you like reading?
I can read.
Have you ever read a book?
Yeah.
I can read.
You read Jurassic Park?
I read
Jurassic Park. I read a couple of Sherlock Holmes. Those.
Do you enjoy yourself when you read?
But that's not a skill.
Anyone.
It could be.
No, we're talking about a skill.
We're talking about...
I thought we were talking more like hobbies, but a skill's good.
We want skill.
We're talking about a bodily function of where I can
a bodily function skill.
Anything...
yes.
What skill?
A skill at the bodily functioning.
I've got it.
Okay.
I've got it.
Can you do this?
Something I can do.
It's a bodily
I
function.
can teach you. It's something I can just... I don't want to mentor you because that would be awful.
Padawan.
Okay. But it's something that you would love.
Okay.
It's something that would be useful and it's interesting, and you can do it anywhere, and it's only mildly illegal.
Okay.
Lock picking.
There you go. A locksmith.
You pick a lock.
I've never done lock picking.
I can close my eyes.
If your nose is a lock, you're a master.
And just with my hands alone, a combination lock, unlock it. I can teach you lock picking.
All right.
And you
what kind of lock did you say?
The combination locks.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You can figure it out?
I'm like the Italian job guy. I can do that.
You put your ear to it?
I'm Charlie Theron. I can do that.
Okay.
And I can teach you
anytime you need to break into, some locker rooms.
You might be locked up.
A locker room locker.
You may need to get out
with a combination lock on it for some reason.
But
there you go.
But other locks. Various locks, any locks.
A safe.
Yes.
Like a safe.
This could be something you could do and perfect, and it's cool. Just imagine you're driving your scooter.
Be a cat burglar.
Down H Street, and you see some lady, and she's locked out of her car, and you're like, "I can help you, ma'am." And next thing you know, you're over there and you're unlocking her BMW. Like, hey.
But that doesn't have that style lock on it.
But
it doesn't matter.
It varies.
I'm just kind of man dream. I mean, come on. I'm trying to get
put your ear up to the car door.
But there's different types of and variations of lock picking.
I'm familiar with the various types of locks.
So, just like in Skyrim, we're going to teach you lock picking. Your lock picking skills are about to be 100%.
I like how you have to do the game reference just to make it seem more sensible.
Something relatable.
Trying to relate. I am hip. So, there you go. By the next time people see you, you will be able to commit mild misdemeanors utilizing various items to unlock bike locks. You could steal someone's bike. Well, you don't want to steal someone's bike.
You know how to dance?
I
gyrate.
Move to and fro rhythmically.
I don't think dancing is his thing.
I love dancing.
I know you do.
I know we know.
I move to and fro rhythmically quite well.
Rhythm of the night.
This is the rhythm of the night. The night. Whoa, whoa. Snap.
I don't want.
Oh, snap.
Okay. So listen, we'll just,
I got the power.
We're gonna leave that. We're gonna leave that there for you.
I like how
it's getting kind of hectic.
It's getting kind of hectic.
The banter and then intervention, and now we're getting into the board game.
We are, because I wanted to tease this because this is what professional podcast stars do. We played 2 games today, one of which we'll talk on our next episode. To be mentioned later. I think probably one of the best Euros I have played in a long time. Actually, I'm very impressed with it. We'll talk about it next episode. This episode,
I concur.
We're going to talk about a game that I have very strong feelings about. Matter of fact, I think my soapbox might be coming out on this one.
Oh,
okay.
Called Circadians, which is a insect, right? That's that little chirping.
Yes.
Chaos Order, which is a Kickstarter that's just now getting fulfilled. It's by old
McDonald. Had a farm.
And did Shim and Sam help on this?
It's Garfield Games. Sam and Zachary Smith are the designers.
That's right. There you go. But Shim and Sham are... Sam did the art.
Shim does Garfield Games. I don't know.
Shim did the art on this, I think.
Really?
Shim did the art on Circadians, First Light, which we thoroughly enjoyed. Wasn't that in your top 25? Your
top 20? Yes, I love that game.
And I think I admitted that if I had played it more, I would have enjoyed it. And the solo in it probably would have been in my top 25.
The solo is excellent.
The solo is excellent. Circadians Chaos Order, unlike Circadians First Light, which is a small box dice placement game, which is really good, and I like it despite hating dice placement games. Chaos Order is in the same psychedelic space realm of universe of Circadians, and it's a big box game. 2 to 5 players.
Art and graphic design by Sam Phillips.
Yes, I knew it was by Sam.
You said Shim.
No, I said Sam. When you edit this, you'll realize. Shim did the art on this, I think.
Really?
Shim did the art on Circadians First Light, which we...
Development by Shim Phillips.
No, Shim. I said Shim and Sham probably helped.
Sam
did the art, because Sam did the art on Circadians.
No, but you're getting... There's a Sam Phillips who did the art.
Yes.
Sam S.J. McDonald.
Shim Phillips.
No.
Shim is the guy who runs Garfield. Sham is the guy who does
Hates lasagna.
And McDonald is the guy designer with his buddy Zach. I understand these.
Okay. Clear as mud.
This is a big box game. It's 2 to 4 hours long. It's an area control game. It is
kindly sent to us.
Sam McDonald.
Kindly sent to us. Reached out. The old reach out.
I like a good reach out. And asked, did we want this game? And we were like, I emailed back immediately. Yes. Even though I had no clue what it was about. And then
I knew what it was.
Quickly realized it was a Kickstarter that I completely missed out on. He sent us the game. Of course, I punched it. Watched several YouTube videos.
Enrique, he punched it.
By Sam.
Boxing.
Yes, that reference was timely.
That's what you should get.
There you go. You could just punch all of our board games. There you go. That's what you could do. To practice your boxing. Your dainty fingers would be useful in poking out the small bits. Sam, thank you, Sam. Well, this game, no, hang on. Soapbox coming out. Okay. I don't know if let me defer this for a moment.
Okay.
I'll let Enrique say something about this game.
He needs to gather his thoughts.
Okay, you say something about this game. Somebody say something about this game besides me.
This game is an area control game with the weird aliens from Circadians. I like it a lot. It's okay. Some of the graphic design on the actual, like the swamp, the cliffs, and the plains or whatever.
You got them correct.
They're not my favorite. Like, we had a hard time discerning what the plains even were.
I did.
Because they had the sharp rocks on them.
I did. It was plain as day.
I'm used to plains having, like, I'm used to the grass. Give me some wheat. But that's not even my point.
This is an alien world.
I know. True. Plains can be just barren, spiky rocks, apparently. I didn't feel like they were distinguished enough. Like, I had a hard time discerning.
The terrain?
Yes, the terrain was not... It didn't pop. It didn't pop.
I think... Well,
as a small criticism. Other than that, I really liked this game.
I like the order, like the action order for this game, because it doesn't do the whole traditional action movement. Like, you do your movement, then your action, like research, building, and then or combat. It does it in a way of where you research first, you build first.
Which one do you do first? Research first or build first?
He just said that.
He said you research first and you build first.
Well, you do them both first.
Yeah.
But then the second first, then the third first.
Let me rephrase then.
It's in an order, a specific
first,
order.
Then build, then you...
Ooh, he can remember it.
Then you harvest, then you move, then you recruit, and...
You got this. Did you like the game?
Yes, I loved the game.
You loved it.
Yes.
You loved it.
Well,
Here's the thing. Soapbox out. I'm done here. This is what got me on this. Sam sent us this game. Very nice. I punched it, looked at the rule book, watched several videos on it, got on BGG, saw that this was a Kickstarter just now being fulfilled, has a weight of 4 on BGG. You know, I don't really trust them. But quickly realized this game is quite heavy. The artwork is the same psychedelic LSD looking artwork that's from Circadians. I actually kind of like this artwork. I don't know why. It's weird.
It's different.
It's different. I like it. It's very, very different. I really enjoy it. It's an area control game. And here's the thing. I absolutely, to my core, love area control. That is my jam. We rarely play area control because
there's not many good ones.
There's wonderful area controls.
There's lots of good ones.
There's tons of them.
There's lots of good ones. I don't know why I said that.
Because you're not thinking.
I don't know why I said that.
Because you're
stupid.
Because you're out of the game. You're just barely a host. And without me, this is what happens.
Oh yeah, no. Actually, it's with you that this is happening.
No, you and Dan talked about vowel movements for 30 minutes.
The Bristol stool chart. Enrique, look it up.
Either way,
you might purchase one. You know what a stool is?
I know what a stool is, but I feel like you're referring to something else.
It's fine.
I am.
So
I'm being duplicitous.
Chaos Order is at its core a fighting area control game. It's very Ameritrash. There's some theme to it, and each faction of the 6 factions have their own distinct way of winning.
I always thought Ameritrash meant you could like be cast out of the game completely.
No.
Really?
No. Never has. I've never heard
Does it just mean fighting?
Well,
what's Ameritrash? What do you mean in this context?
Why are you derailing this to another topic?
Because I think Ameritrash means one thing, like you'd be cast out of the game.
No, you're wrong. I'm telling you wrong. Nobody thinks that. That's not what it means.
How do you say nobody? Nope. I just did.
You're right.
Am I nobody?
Yes, how dare you? You're not going to understand.
How dare you?
No, Ameritrash games are often more towards the theme than Euro games. Like a Euro game will be certain mechanics, no interaction, not very mean, and are very light on the theme. Where Ameritrash games tend to be very confrontational, very aggressive, and the theme is woven throughout the game, despite how the theme may even make the designer use some mechanics that aren't necessarily very smooth or eloquent, I guess you could say. Okay. So in that case, Chaos Order is very much an Ameritrash game. And like I said, I love area control games. It's been a long time since we've played an area control game, an actual game that's just like, I grew up just playing Risk, just fighting, rolling dice, moving guys around. I recently taught Jack how to play Star Wars Risk, had a ball, just blowing stuff up. Chaos Order it harkens back to those old school area control games that are somewhat overly complicated sometimes, that have a fair amount of rules, but yet it brings about this feeling of I don't even know if it's
you don't have the words for it.
It's you're building this system, and this system is not meant to give you victory points. It's not meant to run smoothly. It's meant to be this war machine that crushes your enemies before you. And that's the feeling I get when I play this game. Everything about it is designed with a specific goal in mind. And so, briefly, let me just touch on the mechanisms of this game.
Touch them.
So, there is a order. The whole left side of the board is nothing but the turn order and the order for which the phases of the game. And the players take turns pricing these actions. So, for instance, typical actions such as research, which can research the various other actions and make them more powerful. Or harvest, which is basically give you more resources, which you use to do the actions. And recruit, which gives you more guys to fight. And move, and so forth. These are all in order, and the players, the unique mechanic is, in turn order, they price one of these actions. Meaning, I put my little marker out here onto the recruit section of the board, and I get to do that action for free, and I put a price on it out of one of the little chits that I have. And everybody else who does that action this round has to pay me. I really like that. Because not only do you have to anticipate what your enemies are going to do, it's a good, easy way for you to get to do something for free, but also be able to price people out of an action or actually be able to bolster up your own economy. I like that. Mm-hmm. I like that a lot.
It's a little bit of a take that element.
So, this...
Because I put one out there that required like a bunch of energy, and Enrique was unable to pay, so he couldn't take that action.
Right. So it's all in order. You go down. The movement's very simple. It's all hexagon. The board is kind of modular as you put out these various hexagons to kind of build it out, because the board gets smaller or bigger depending how many players. And out of the 6 factions on the board, there are 6 different victory tracks, because each faction has their own way of scoring victory points. This seems rather complicated, but it's all written out in a very handy-dandy little handout for each faction that tells not only how you should play with this faction, but also what the other players can do to stop you. It gives tips on how to win and tips on how to beat each and every faction. Thought that was really cool. And each little faction does something very well and is, of course, weak in some other areas. Thought that was super neat. The movement is pretty simple. Everything about this game seems to flow very nicely. Now, is it complicated? Yes. I had to watch several videos to kind of understand, but once you've played it one time, I'm pretty sure that the overall rules of this game I've got down. I'm not worried about it. I can pick this game up 6 months from now and remember how to play it. But the actual how to play with each faction, you would really have to play multiple times to understand how to use them efficiently. And each are so different. And I really, really like that. The combat in it is very similar to the same combat mechanism that you find in Scythe, with the little turn dial where you dial in how much strength you're going to use. But yet, in this game, it does something completely different. And the combat mechanism in this game, to me, is the game. That is the entirety of the game. It is so much, not just strategy, but fun, where you're dialing in your strength, your attack value, and your defense value. And your strength determines who wins the area. And then after you've decided who actually has won the battle, you calculate the attack and the defense. And that is how much you inflict damage upon your opponent. Because whoever wins the area gets it. And then the attack is how many of the men get wiped out, basically, or get injured. And the defense is how much that you can negate. You use this using this dial, secretively, the 2 players, and cards that you can attach to the dial that give you other bonuses. And each faction has their own little favorite part of the land that they can do battle on, or various little things that they do. I'm going to pause for a moment before I make a statement regarding what I think this game does better than... I don't even know.
I like that the battle, while it is deterministic, once you set the dial and have a card, it does throw in an added element, if you so wish. If you have the ruby or whatever that red rock is, the gemstone, the righteous gemstone, you can pay that, and then you can add to your strength. So if you roll that die, then there's a little bit of randomness in there that can change, that it has the ability to change up the battle, and I like that a lot. I'm not a big fan of deterministic battling. I like the die rolls, except I also like the kind of battle that's like in Imperial 2030 or whatever that is, where it's just like, you have 4 against my 5. I win because I have 1 left over now. That's stupid because that is very deterministic as well. But I like that. Super simple. I like this battle a lot, and it is the heart of the game because it's a area control. You have to fight for control, and it's got the same thing. You can pin people, and if there's multiple factions, then the person with the first player marker or whatever it's called then chooses the order of who's going to fight whatever. It's a fantastic battling area control game in that regard.
So, this game has many trappings similar to Scythe. And when first time I punched this game and glanced at it, I noticed that this has a lot of the various, not just with the hexagons, but the various players, the player board, and I guess the combat was all that was reminding me of it. This game is what I wanted Scythe to be.
Mm-hmm.
To me, people look at Scythe, they see the beautiful artwork and everything about it, their player boards and everything. And don't get me wrong, Chaos Order has a lot of stuff in it. It's not the same quality as Scythe by any means.
No.
But in terms of the actual gameplay, Scythe is very basic. You have your player board, you move stuff around, same opening moves. The combat, there's no combat in Scythe. I don't know why people even act like there is. It's very bland. This game is anything but bland. This is the combat Scythe should have had.
This is you're fighting over these 6 relics on the board, and that's one way you can win if you have control of all 6 of those. Or you can run up your track that's asymmetrical to your faction. But yeah, Scythe is straight up boring.
So this is my point. If you were to change the name of this game to Scythe 2, redone the artwork, threw in some minis and get a double layer board, people would be blowing up, eating this game up alive. Because this game is far superior to Scythe. I do not know why people think Scythe is good. It is not. Is it a decent design?
It
Yes.
has. It's that player board. That player board is everything aside. It's super nice and smooth and neat. But other than that, it's a bland game, like you say.
It's very bland. I see where people enjoy the familiarity with it, the ease of it. I still own Scythe. I'm going to teach my kids to play it. I think it's a great entry-level game to the whole aspect of here's how to manage a board. Here's kind of like a little bit of area control. It's not that mean. Chaos Order is mean. You fight in it, and you have to fight in it.
And it has that player board that as you build buildings, Scythe-like and Paladin style, as you build buildings, it starts giving you more for your income.
So this is what I'm saying. Games like Scythe, people talk ad nauseum about. But something like Chaos Order will come out, people won't play it, they won't think about it, they won't see it, and they won't think anything in terms of its comparison. But I would love to talk to this Mr. McDonald and find out what inspired this, because he literally took various elements from other games, mashed them together, and said, I'm going to make...
into a superior game.
Correct. This is... Okay, I'll do another one. Root. Everybody loves
another
Root.
one.
Root is fine. I see why people like Root. I appreciate Root. I think it's actually... in terms of its importance to board gaming, I see why. It's a very much one of those old school war games that's been rethemed and made more accessible, and it's actually a very good design.
Everyone should take Root out for a whirly.
Root, what I wanted from Root, and I think what kind of fell flat for me, was all the players having to kind of do their own thing, but then keep an eye on somebody else to make sure they don't want to raid with it. And then everybody attack the person in the lead. In Chaos Order, there is one universal goal, which is these little relics that are all over the board. You're trying to control them. You're trying to get them. And if you can control them all, then you win. But each round, somebody captures one of them. And so there's only 6 of them. As you get down to the 6th round, it comes to a sudden death where you just have to get that 6th one. So everybody is fighting for this point on the board. That's the global victory in the game that everybody's going after. But you can also win the game by getting your own victory points, by doing your own thing. For instance, there's one faction that's all about just inflicting casualties upon everybody else, and that's how they get their victory points. There's another one where just researching and developing and getting these crystals is what gives them victory points. So you can win the game by doing your own little thing. And each one of these little factions has their own little standees, it's in the minis, that are leaders that add little bonuses out to the armies or kind of act like generals that kind of add just a little bit of flavor to the game. And I think the asymmetry in this game, which we don't generally like, I don't like games that make things unbalanced, but this I really enjoy.
The asymmetry in this isn't extreme like Root is. You still have the same. You still play the game the same way. Just you might have a few little things different on your player board or the way you earn victory points. Not victory points. Run up your track. I guess they are victory points, but. Fame points, yes. I like the asymmetry because it's not so extreme. It fits in smoothly. What is Chaos Order? What is that even? Is it just it's a paradoxical title? I don't understand what it means. You keep talking about the theme. I don't know what the theme is.
Okay, well, Circadians First Light, where you're landing on a planet and you're trying to build up a base like the humans, the Circadians, trying to basically inhabit this alien world. This one is all the factions are there. Everybody has kind of come together and you're vying for power on this world.
Yeah, but it acts like the planet itself is fighting back or something. And I don't know. I'm trying to read this while you're talking.
I don't know why you're trying to read a theme that nobody cares about. Here's the thing.
Circadians First Light needs to be a bigger hit than it is. It probably won't because it just kind of flew under the radar, and that's going to be the issue with this game because it's based on that. Circadians Chaos Order. Clearly, Circadians First Light was enough of a hit to warrant putting Circadians on here for recognition.
What's another? No, Circadians is the world that it's in.
Okay. But either way, so he's like, yeah, this is Circadian, part of the Circadians world. If this had, like you said, if this had minis, if But I guess that's a dangerous edge to be on, because it's like, if you really bling out your game, make it super expensive, it does draw people to eye it. Like, that's something I'm interested in. But then also you can price people out. So I guess they're trying to make this.
No, they don't price people out.
That's true.
Not on Kickstarter.
Price me out.
You who spend more. How many sets of gold coins do you have? Like, people just buy
I only have
coins.
17.
People buy stuff 17? On Kickstarter. You're not going to price anybody
I
on
won't.
Kickstarter.
I can't hardly purchase a game for more. I'm trying to think, now that you've said that, what's the most expensive game I've purchased? Probably freaking Tapestry for $80. But I know there's games out there for hundreds and hundreds, especially these all-in boxes, with everything thrown in. Everdell with everything thrown in. I'm getting off topic. Chaos Order, excellent game. Love it, love it, love it. It's a better Scythe Enrique.
Like, I love it. It's just,
you love it still.
Yeah, I love it still, even though I had a rocky start.
You did.
We all did. You literally started in the mountains.
I stomped y'all. And it was funny because of Gobby's.
My mercenaries kept leaving me.
So, first off, the name of the game, Chaos Order, to me actually describes the game very aptly, because it is very chaotic, but yet there's a very clear order to the game of what you're trying to do. Trying to take these points, do your thing.
And I like that with the depletion of them relics as the game goes on, it like drives you into this. What do they call that? What do they call that in the military when you're trying to send people through like one by one so you can
kill zone?
No, but
funnel.
You funnel them through, but they call it something.
Oh yeah, like you have like one.
It's like a choke something.
You have one team
choke point. Yes. This basically puts you through a choke point as the relics continue to leave, so that everybody's headed towards the same spot.
This game, to me, to describe it. So just to recap quickly, if you like Scythe and you think Scythe is a good game and you're ready to play an actual adult game, because this game is very much 2 to 4 hours long. It's a very deep game. It's going to require some effort, and it's better probably with more players. So if you like Scythe, try this. If you like Root, try this. If you're the type and you have a group that's into bigger space themes games such as Eclipse or Twilight Imperium, and you're looking for something that's along that same lines of Ameritrashy.
And it's long. This game is long.
This is a long game, and it requires effort. But games that require a lot of effort, that I have to put in
2 to 4 hours,
a lot of concentration to learn it and teach it, and then try to learn the factions, and then go, okay, I'm ready to play this. If it doesn't give back what I put in, I'm frustrated. I watched 4 YouTube videos. I watched Sam play this game on Tabletop Simulator while I read the rule book and went, I'm going to like this. I can feel it in my bones. This is going to be good. And as soon as we sat down, started explaining it, started going over it, the first round, it clicked. Mm-hmm. And I go, I want to play this. I want to play 5 hours of this with 5 players that know this game.
It says 2 to 4.
It's 5 hours long.
I don't know that I would want to play this at 2-player. Like, it doesn't seem. Does it shrink the map?
Yes. So like I said, from what I've seen from it and what I've heard a few people talk about, I still prefer
the interaction.
I like the interaction of it. I like the asymmetry of it. This feels like one of those Criterion movies that didn't come out in the movie theater, that only comes out on DVD or at those film festivals, that is really, really good, but nobody's heard of it, nobody watches it. Mm-hmm. So Scythe is the blockbuster that everybody talks about, whereas this is
Pig.
The adult movie. Not adult, that sounds like it's Sam McDonald, my adult movie. Chaos, Sam McDonald, Chaos.
We make adult games.
Adult games. No, it's a mature, thanky, very difficult area control game. I am really liking this.
Adult in that there's a lot going on.
It was, like I said, it is not something that's easy to learn, but once you've got it, you got it, and it's good.
Lots of symbols.
Yes, the iconology is difficult, but that's okay. I'm okay with that.
I always don't know. Is it iconology or iconography?
We've had this conversation. We actually
I think you say it wrong
we
every
had
time.
we had an episode on this already. I think it's like episode 76.
Iconology is the study of visual imagery.
Yes.
And its symbolism.
Iconology.
Iconography.
That's what I said.
Iconography is the visual images and symbols used in a work of art.
Yeah,
so this is iconography. We're not studying it.
I am. That's why I won.
We're using them.
So anyways, Chaos Order is a great game. We need to have Sam or Shim and the other Sam on.
And Zachary Smith. Don't forget Zach Smith. He's on here too.
Okay, Zach Smith too. We have them all on. If I'm out again next week, just call Sam.
Will do.
Or Shim. Is it Garfield or Garfield games?
Garfield. There's no D. It's not the cat.
They're from New Zealand.
They are.
They're Kiwis.
G'day.
No.
You don't think they say
They
that?
don't say good day.
What do they say? Good night.
Hello there.
It sounds more British.
Is that Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I don't think he's from New Zealand.
I did not.
He's from Tatooine.
Like Obi-Wan Kenobi very much. I watched it.
Yeah, we know.
I did not like it very much.
Me neither.
I really wanted to.
Willy wanted to?
Really Wonka wanted
Willy Wonka
to.
to? I really Wonka to.
It didn't. I did appreciate it like Enrique was in it, though. Did you see him? He was the fake Jedi. That looked just like you. Bro, like they could have cast you. You could have been... that would have been the thing. You could have been...
What fake Jedi are you talking about?
You're the guy that was faking like he was a Jedi and luring people.
Haja?
Yeah.
Was that his name?
As soon as I saw that, I was like, that'd been a perfect
Kumail
role.
Nanjiani?
That'd have been a perfect role for Enrique, being like he's a fake Jedi, waving stuff around. Or you could have died in the temple. That would have been just your luck. You'd have been force sensitive, moving stuff around with your brain, and then they'd like come get you to train, and then like day one, you get your head cut off by Darth Vader.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
That would have been very unfortunate.
All right, that's going to do it for this episode.
All right.
Would you had a green lightsaber or a blue lightsaber?
Check out our Patreon on our Facebook group.
I'd had a purple lightsaber.
I'll have link in the show notes. Check out any of our social sites. We'll probably have our Patreon link because we need that money.
Well, no.
And thank you so much to those that already did it.
And if you can't afford to send us your money, don't. What you could do is simply just send us an email.
Send us your gratitude.
Or refer to a friend that can give us money.
If you, yes.
Refer a friend.
If you have a friend who does not watch or listen to our show, but is flush with cash,
send them our way.
You tell them, hey, why don't you Patreon
Pretty soon,
friends of mine?
We'll have a brand new laptop, and some Shure SM7Bs.
That's a great idea. We need a sugar daddy.
Exactly. So, I'm Gabi.
If that's you.
This is me. I'm Gabi.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm still talking. Are we finishing?
That's Jerry.
Thank you for tolerating this episode of the Board Game Snobs. Stay classy.